Welcome to my manga collection video for 2015. I know this is quite late. My 2014 edition of this video was recorded in December last year, so I was actually supposed to December in 2014. So I was actually supposed to record this video in December 2015, so I'm a few months late. But yeah, basically before I show you the collection, I just want to appreciate this Mamoru Hosoda artwork from Wolf Children. And I just also want to basically put in a plug to my book depository affiliate link. If you're watching this video, then you're probably interested in my collection, you're interested in what I've got and what I'm been reading, which also would mean to me that you're also interested in purchasing manga. So if there are any series that you do want to purchase that are in my collection, you can purchase them on book depository. If you use my affiliate link, which is in the description below, it's the first link that you see. You get free worldwide shipping. I mean, what's not to like about that? And I get commission off of every sale, which is also cool. So without further ado, let's get started with the manga collection. So something that I neglected to show in my last collection video, especially with this one, I'll start with my Nausea of the Valley of the Wind. I almost forgot to show this. It was kind of like an afterthought at the end of last year's video. This is a fantastic series by Hayao Miyazaki. Something I didn't show you at all, which I completely forgot. It's my Speed Racer by Tatsuo Yoshida. I still yet to actually read this. Read this, obviously. It's amazing. So we'll start with my 640. In fact, no, I'm not going to show you that. I'm going to go straight over here to my Osamu Tezuka shelf, where most of my Tezuka manga is. So first we've got Ayako. Unbelievably amazing. My favourite Tezuka manga, or well, I'd probably say second favourite, next to Message to Adolf, which is my favourite Tezuka manga. Love this, absolutely love this. I really enjoyed talking about these when I was doing Tezuka season. Next up we have Moo. Awesome. Next we have Book of Human Insects, Whoopsie Daisy, which is the first Tezuka manga that I read. Great introduction into Tezuka lexicon. Next we have Triton of the Sea. Not really a big fan of this. It's my least favourite Tezuka title. It was too long. Didn't like it. Didn't enjoy the story or the characters. The ending was good though. I did like the ending. Next up we have Captain Ken. One thing I'm really neglecting again is buying Tezuka manga. I'm really far behind on Tezuka releases. There's a lot more Tezuka manga that's been released on the Kickstarters. Digital manga publishing, I do a really good job. So I'm gonna have to be getting a lot of the Tezuka manga that's out now on akadot.com, as they're not being sold on like Amazon or Book Deposit or anything like that. Anyway, next Dororo. Also really enjoyed that actually. So yeah, now we'll move on to my 6-footer, my big shelf, the main meat. This is actually something about my friend Martin. Neon Genesis Evangelion, the Shinji Ikari Erasing Project Volume 1. I believe this is due to be finishing. I think I saw a video by Bob Evans and he mentioned that the manga is due to be finishing pretty soon. So I'll do a first impressions of this one volume, see what I think of it. Next we have Parasite, one of my favourite seinen. After watching the anime, I kind of thought less about the ending of this. I thought it was a little bit too preachy, and the ending wasn't as good as what I initially remembered. But still, nonetheless, an amazing series. Next up, we've got some more Tezuka, Princess Knight. Good series. Preferred Twin Knights, which is its sequel. Next up, we have Buddha, 1 to 5. I need to pick up some more Buddha. I stopped on volume 4 because I went to pick up the big box set, but that's not available now, so I'm just going to pick up these singular volumes, continue with those. Next, another Tezuka Otaku Hito. Read this for Tezuka season. This is probably another one of my favourite seinen series of all time. Even just disregarding the fact that's by Tezuka, it's an amazing series. Next to that we have Time Killers, series of short stories by Kazuo Kato. Really enjoyed this. I read this for my 24-hour manga marathon recently, and I was very impressed with like the art style and her ability to do like world building and things like that. Next to that we have Biomega by Tsutomu Nihei. Amazing series. From volume 4 onwards it gets really crazy and basically does a bit of like a narrative shift. The whole story just kind of dissolves, but not in a bad way. It just starts telling a different story, which is really unusual. But again, it's just amazing. Next to that we have Terra for Mars. I kind of like the first volume, and then the second volume I just kind of lost interest, and I just stopped picking it up. Tell me whether or not I should continue reading it, because I know it's a popular series, but I don't know. It's not really something there's something about that just doesn't really attract me to it. Anyway, next up I have Dorohedoro, Volume 1 and 6. Still, I haven't picked up any more of this since my last collection video. Next up I have Battle Royale, Angel's Border, which is basically, if you've seen Battle Royale or you've read the manga, this is basically the story surrounding all the girls in the lighthouse. I won't say any more on that for fear of spoilers. Next up we have Solanin by Inio Asano, who has in recent months become one of my favourite mangaka. Solanin, out of the 3 titles that I've read of his so far, is, I don't want to say my least favourite, but like my 3rd favourite, I guess you would say. Tokyo Babylon by Clamp. Still haven't read this. I know probably some people will be very angry at me for saying that. I really should get on some Clamp work. I've really neglected them. Next up, Insufficient Direction by Mayoko Ano, the wife of director Hideaki Anno. It's basically a satirical look at her life living with an otaku, and her basically trying to become an quote-unquote otaku wife. And this is basically her representation of herself. I have director Gun, aka Hideaki Anno himself. So it's good, but there's a lot of like otaku related references to, you know, older anime series that just kind of go over your head. So I'll probably read that in another couple of years and be able to appreciate it a little bit more. Next shelf down we have Mobile Suit Gundam: The Origin. I'm really slacking on these volumes. I've got up to volume 8. I think all of them have been released now, so 12 volumes. So I'm 4 volumes behind. I'm going to pick them up, and then I'm probably just going to read through the entire series like all over again, and then review the whole series. But still amazing. Next up we have Vinland Saga. Still haven't picked up volume 5. Like volume 7's out now, and it's at risk of, you know, losing. I think Kodansha US are at risk of losing the license for it. As I don't think it's as profitable as they would like. So yeah, I'm really neglecting Vinland Saga. I haven't read any of that hardly this past year. Next up we have JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Phantom Blood Part 1, Volume 1 and 2. So last year, well, 2015 is the year that introduced me to JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I'm also watching the anime. I'm actually further in the anime than I am in the manga. I'm up to Battle Tendency now, and it's good. It's okay. I heard it gets a lot better in Part 3, so you know I'm still keeping my my options open, seeing whether or not I'll continue it. Next up I have Fragments of Horror by Junji Ito. Really great short story collection. And then we have Uzumaki, same author. Read this for my first 24-hour manga marathon. Excellent. Next I have Wolf Children, Ame and Yuki. I actually just recently read this in I think last week. Really impressed. Really impressed. Next I have some Gekiga titles by Yoshihiro Tatsumi. We have The Pushman and Other Stories. Ex-library copy, but still in relatively good condition. Abandoned the Old in Tokyo. As you can see, these are all hardcovers. Very fortunate to come across these. We have Goodbye. Same author, Yoshihiro Tatsumi. God rest his soul. Next we have The Boxman by Imiri Shakabashira. I read this for my first 24-hour manga marathon. Pretty good. We have A Single Match by Oji Suzuki. Still to read this. But like I mentioned in my, I think I actually mentioned it in my last collection video, that I actually do want to do that Gekiga Spotlight video. So I will be talking about these, you know, at some point or another in special kind of videos. They'll have Red Snow. That's it for that shelf. Moving on down, we have Battle Royale. Still searching for that elusive Volume 5, but never come across it. Never. Nijikahara Holograph by Inio Asano. Again, fantastic mangaka. And this is now officially my favourite Asano title. Maybe that will change once I read Girl on the Shore or Goodnight Pun Pun. I don't know when I'll get around to picking them up, but hopefully soon. Next we have Wandering Sun. I still only have volume 1 of this because they're out of print. I don't think I'll be able to get any more. I still have a spare copy of volume 1 though, so hit me up if you want to either buy it off me. I might do a giveaway or something, I don't know. I've been talking about that for years now. Next I have Ghost in the Shell, volume 1 by obviously Shiro Masamune. And then I also have volume 1.5, Human Error Processor. I still haven't read these. Very wordy. I need to dedicate some time to them. And let's have Akira. I actually read this again about in the last 6 months, and again it's just as fantastic as I remember it. Drunken Dream and Other Stories by Moto Hagio. Basically a series of short stories. I read this for my first 24-hour manga marathon like 2 years ago, whenever it was, 1 year ago, something. And yeah, this is amazing, absolutely fantastic, but unfortunately it's out of print. Next we have Tekken Concrete, black and white. Oops, this is actually a flipped edition, so you have to go around this way. Tai Matsumoto, amazing. What can I say more about Tai Matsumoto? Well, if you want to see more, watch my review of it. Then we have A Strange Tale of Panorama Island. Yeah, really great manga. Kind of weird. Next thing I have on the shelf here is volume 1 and 2 of Therme Rome. Beautiful release by Re-Empress. However, still unread. I think there's about three volumes of this, or 6 volumes total or something. I think these are 2-in-1s. Could be completely wrong on that, and I know it's finished now, I think. But yeah. Next up we have High School of the Dead volume 1, which is a 4-in-1 omnibus. Really great release. Very happy to own that. Next I have Last of the Mohicans, which is one of only 2 of the 10-cent manga released by Picture Box. And then we have Gold Pollen and Other Stories, Seiichi Hayashi Gekko manga, really avant-garde, off the beaten track, short stories, pretty awesome. So that's that shelf. Further down we have Saturn Apartments. Did a review of this recently, and I was quite disappointed with it, considering how much I anticipated it was going to be good, and because it's from, as you can see, Signature Ikki, from Ikki, monthly Ikki magazine in Japan, which basically publishes the best of the best. That's how it was advertised, and it wasn't bad, but it wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. Next to that, Bunny Drop. I know how this series ends, and that's one of the reasons why I've neglected to continue picking it up. I will finish it, as I do like the first half of it, but knowing how it ends, I'm not looking forward to reading it. Next to that we have Kingo Yu's books. Still haven't read this, and I really went on about this last year, and how great it was going to be and how great I thought it was going to be. Still haven't read it. Next I have volume 1 of Master Keaton. It's only Naoki Urasawa who does the artwork for this. It's actually written by somebody else, 2 people, but I reckon it's still going to be good. Then I have Monster volume 1 in perfect edition. I'm not really in a rush to pick this whole series because I've already read it, because I have most of these single volumes, 15 of them to be exact, and I lent 3 of them off of my friend when I was reading it and when I reviewed it. So I will pick them up. It's going to be 9 volumes total in these perfect editions. But yeah, they're not going anywhere in a rush. There's a high demand for them, so they're not going to go out of print anytime soon. At least I hope. Next up we have Go-Go Monster, another Tai Matsumoto work. I've learned enough about Tai Matsumoto to know that you really have to kind of take his work, not necessarily with a pinch of salt, but you really have to go in with a really open mind, as the artwork is very jarring. The way he tells his story sometimes is not necessarily off-putting, but it's just different, it's just alternative. So you kind of have to appreciate it from a different perspective, but nonetheless really brilliant. Next up we have A Bride Story by Karumori, 6 volumes. Volume 7 is out now, really need to pick that up. Excellent series, I love it so much. Volume 6, however, really takes a really unusual turn and does something that the series doesn't normally do, and it was quite unusual. So I'm not really sure where the story will go from further, but volume 6 was very unusual. Next to that we have Karamori Anything and Something, which is basically the companion booklet for A Bride Story. Interviews, author commentaries, artwork that was published in Velo's magazine, just extra tidbits. Next to that we have this Town of Evening Calm, Country of Cherry Blossoms. I always have to actually read that title, it's so long. Still yet to read this, but it's not going anywhere, it's going to stay on my shelf forever. And then we have Neon Genesis Evangelion, 1 to 12. I think Viz have announced that they are going to be releasing 13 and 14 in an omnibus version like these, so I'm just waiting for that to come out and I can read the whole series again. Next up we have Sunny, another Tai Matsumoto work. Yeah, hardcover, and it's another manga from the signature Iki imprint. So I know that's going to be good. I already know that's going to be amazing. Next up we have Axe Alternative Manga. I cannot stress enough how amazing this is. Even if it's just this one volume, even if we never got a volume 2, it is so worth picking up. It really is. Next we have Black Blizzard, more Yoshihiro Tatsumi. I think this is one of his earliest works, 1956, so it's one of my oldest manga in terms of original publication date, barring another one that I'm going to be showing you later on. Next up with Namamba by Shigeru Mizuki. Really enjoyed this. Basically it's a love letter to his own childhood, and he basically, this character is actually the author, and it basically details how he was inspired to create yokai manga by a grandma figure called Nononba, which is the old lady who you see here, which was a real person who he really knew in his childhood, and she was like a spiritualist, and basically told him and taught him all about yokai, and which ones do what, and that kind of thing, which ones to avoid and which ones are whatever. It's a really good story. Next we have Onwards Towards Our Noble Deaths, same author, Shigeru Mizuki. Look forward to reading this. It's another autobiographical piece about his time in World War II. So yeah, so that's that shelf over and done with. Next one down, Doubts, Volume 1. It's pretty generic really, I still haven't read it. Will I get around to it? Definitely, but not in any time soon. We have Children of the Sea, something in my collection that I'm heavily neglecting, and something else from the Sega Iki line. I can't stress enough, Sega Iki is a really great imprint, and Viz have really done well with this line, and you get some really far out titles. Next we have Ikigami, The Ultimate Limit, volume 1 to 10, it's a complete series. Next we have Blade of the Immortal, volumes 1 to 26. Volume 27 is actually quite hard to find, but I am going to be, in my next pickups, I'm aiming to have the whole series, all 31 volumes, so yeah, I'm up to volume 26 now. Blizzard, it's unbelievably amazing. I absolutely love this series. The next thing on my shelf is this, Professor Munakata's British Museum Adventure. I know next to nothing about this, save from the fact that it is a companion booklet for a museum, an exhibition that this mangaka had, I believe. Yoshino Yukinobu. I think he had an exhibition at the British Museum. But I really don't know anything about it. You're just a blind guy. Next we have some Jiro Taniguchi manga, Azuin Winter. Basically this is an autobiographical piece of his early years as a mangaka himself. It's pretty good. It shows how his confidence built as an artist and things like that, being an assistant to a really respected artist who was publishing at the time. So The Walking Man as well. I haven't read that yet, but it looks promising. And final bottom shelf, I have Attack on Titan. I haven't bought any new Attack on Titan since my last video. As you can see, I'm still only on volume 13. Attack on Titan's not going anywhere anytime soon, so it's just not a priority right now, even though I think it is a great series. Similarly with Claymore, I still have the same 24 volumes as when I last recorded this video. It's completed now. It's been finished for a while, obviously over a year. I only need to buy 3 more volumes, and I've got the series complete. And here I have some random miscellaneous volumes of Banana Fish, different type of shoujo series from reviews that I've seen. Hopefully I'll be able to pick up some more volumes. So that's that shelf. That's all of everything on that shelf there. So we'll move on to my smaller shelves to the side here. Now, top shelf, we have Blue Spring, Taya Matsumoto. A little bit disappointed with this actually. I didn't really like it as much as I thought it was, I was going to. Next we have Relgrad, Volume 1 and 2. Volume 2 still in the shrink wrap. I still haven't started it yet. Not in a rush. Similarly with Dead Man Wonderland, started reading this, and it just kind of seemed pretty generic. I don't know if it gets any better, but it's only a 12 volume long series, so I'll probably end up collecting it all at some point and reading it. Next thing I have Niseko Falls to Love, first 2 volumes. I do not like the main character, he's just so bland, but I suppose that's kind of like a running trend when it comes to like harems or like shonen romance and things like that, but then again I'm not really experienced in that, so I can't really speak. Next we have Baron the Cat Returns, the inspiration for the Cat Returns Ghibli movie. I really enjoyed this. Cat Returns is one of my favourite Ghibli films, if not my favourite Ghibli film out of them all. Next we have Volume 1 of Motomote. I still haven't continued reading this, which is why I still only have Volume 1. Again, I'm not in a rush because I've seen the anime. So yeah. Next we have Volume 1 of Puella Magi Madoka Magica. I've heard that the manga isn't as good as the anime. Obviously, the anime is the original source material, so this is an adaptation. I don't know if it's actually good. The anime, however, is immensely just amazing. Here we have Blood Lad Volume 1. I enjoyed this volume when I read it a few years ago, but I've neglected to pick up any more. And so Volume 1 of Books Rain, which I believe is adapted from the anime. I would really like to get my hands on the Wolf's Rain anime, but it's massively out of print. So I've opted out for the manga instead, which I believe is adapted from the anime. So it'd be probably pretty good, I don't know. I think it's only about 3 volumes. Next we have Magi the Labyrinth of Magic, Volume 1 to 5. I've actually dropped this series as Volume 4 and 5 were just abysmally generic, and I decided not to invest any more of my time or money into reading or purchasing it. So yeah, it's officially dropped. Next we have The Drifting Classroom, Kazuo Umezu, regarded as one of the best horror writers in Japan. Next to that we have Volume 1 of Mushishi. Again, another massively out of print series, but I've got the entire anime, or at least the first season of the anime, and it's great. Now, next thing we have here is actually my oldest manga in terms of original publication date. It's the second of the only 2 manga published under the 10-cent manga line by Picture Box, and that's The Mysterious Underground Men by Osamu Tezuka. A really great manga if you're into historical manga. Next that we have some miscellaneous volumes of Cyborg 999 by Shotaro Ishinomori. Next to that we have Drifters, another series that I've dropped by the same creator of Hellsing, Kota Hirano. Excellent artwork, story not so excellent, so I ended up dropping that. Next to that we have Mail by Hosuke Yamazaki, who's the artist behind Kurosawa Cops Delivery Service. This is brilliant horror, so far my favourite horror. Next to that I have Fulikuli. Recommend the anime over the manga. However, it has got really great artwork, very alternative, but still stick with the anime. Next to that we have Oikoshi by Hiroaki Samura, just basically a series of short stories by the same creator of Blade of the Immortal. Highly recommend, but I think it's out of print now, so it's kind of difficult to come by. Same thing with 7 Billion Needles, one of my favourite seinen. I've gone out about a long time. I mean, one of the main images on the front there is part of my channel logo. It has been day 1. So yeah, I've got a lot of love for that series. Next up we have Flowers of Evil Volume 1 to 5 Again, I haven't bought any more Flowers of Evil. I should, but I just haven't. Next to that we have Knights of Sidonia Volume 1 to 3, another Tomomi Here series which I'm highly anticipating reading after reading Biomega a few months ago, or at least finishing reading Biomega. So yeah, that's that shelf. Next shelf down we have Appleseed by Shiro Masamune. This is Volume 1 to 4, and then 4.5 Hypernotes, and then Appleseed ID, which is all the just like extra stuff, illustrations and data as it says on the side there. Tenjo Tenge, possibly my least favourite manga in my collection. I read this and it was just simply abysmal. It was awful. I do not recommend reading this. It is terrible. Next to that we have Real Volume 1 to 7, Takiko Anyway. I actually really want to pick up Slam Dunk at some point, as that's a classic. Next to that is some Kyoko Okazaki work. Helter Skelter, amazing, absolutely love this. I really hope she does continue with, as it kind of left open-ended, but even if she doesn't, you know, the ending can be up to personal interpretation, which I don't mind. You know, I don't mind having to think as a reader. Next up we have Pink, another great work. I want to get more into Josei work. Kyoko Okazaki is a really good start. Then we have Pluto, Naoki Urasawa, his take on the greatest robot in history, which is one of the stories in Astro Boy. Really, really fantastic manga. Did a review of this. Amazing. I mean, it's Naoki Urasawa, what else can you really say other than amazing? Next up we have What a Wonderful World by Inio Asano. It's my second favourite title of his. This, for a long time, was my favourite title of his. Still one of my favourite seinen manga. Next up we have Strain by Ryoichi Ikegami and Bronson. This is actually a really old manga. It's published under Viz's, I don't think you can really see that, there we go, Viz's Pulp imprint, which is not one of their imprints anymore. This is, I think this is from the early 2000s, late 90s maybe. This was originally published by Viz. Next up we have 5 centimeters per second. Really great manga, but I recommend the film over it. Next up we have Pikachu. I've only got one more volume until I complete this. Next up we have Apollo's Song by Osamu Tezuka. One of my favourite Tezuka works. I absolutely love it. Genjiken. I'm really neglecting this series. I haven't continued reading it after just reading this first volume. Really need to continue with it, as I really, really enjoyed this first volume. It would basically look at otaku culture in Japan and them setting up like a otaku club and they just do otaku stuff. It's really awesome. I actually really want to see the anime as well. Next up we have Carmen. I might get the omnibus actually. I think that has volumes 1 and 2. I don't know. Next we have No Longer Human Volume 2. Pick this up because, as you can see, it was 99 pence. Not sure if I can pick up the rest of the series, volume 1 and 3, as it's now out of print. Whoops, can I get that back in there? Next up we have Limit, volume 1 to 5. I think I need volume 6. I think that will be a complete series. A very small trim size compared to everything else in my collection. I think this is actually my smallest manga in terms of trim size. So that's that shelf. Now, a shelf down here we have Full Metal Alchemist 1 to 27, full series. Incredible, love Full Metal Alchemist. I have Hunter x Hunter volumes 1 to 10, and then a few miscellaneous volumes 13, 26, and 27. I love Hunter x Hunter. Well, I love the anime. I'm not too big on the manga. Next up we have Tsubasa volume 1. This was actually sent to me by Owen, aka Immortalium. As a giveaway, he did a giveaway and I got this sent to me. So this is another clamp work that I've got in my collection now. So we'll be reading it at some point. So thank you very much. And next to that we have Gyo, volume 1 and 2. Again, I want to get the hardcover omnibus, and I don't know, maybe sell these or give them back to my friend who I bought them off. I don't know, he might want them back. Next to that we have volume 1 of Welcome to the NHK. Actually, I read this recently. I absolutely loved it. I can't wait to watch the anime and pick up more of those volumes. And then we have volume 25 of Great Teacher Onizuka. I really need to get more of that manga. So that's that shelf. Next shelf along, have volumes 1 to 12 of the Kurosagi Corpse Delivery Service. Right about now is a really good time to be buying this because it's just been reprinted in 3-in-1 omnibuses. I think there's 2 volumes out now, maybe 3. So that'll be either up to volume 6 or up to volume 9. Either way, it's a fantastic series to get into. Highly recommend Kurosaki Corp's delivery service. The artist of this is the same artist who does Mail. And he got really, really awesome cover designs by, I can't remember the dude's name, Bunpei something or other. But yeah, really, really unique cover design. Next to that we have volumes 1 to 8 of Gantz. I probably won't be collecting any more of this, even though I do like the series. It's too long. I think it's like 31 volumes or something like that. Next to that we have volume 1 of Lady Snowblood by Kazue Koike, and the art by Kazuo Kamimura. I'm not familiar with the artist, but obviously you should be familiar with the story writer at least. This is basically the inspiration for Quentin Tarantino's Kill Bill films. I mean, it's pretty obvious just by seeing the book design. Like it was that this heavily inspired the film. Next to that we have Crime Freeman. Where's my other volume? I'm currently reading this. I'm currently on volume 3. It's a good series. I mean, I'll review it. I mean, it's by Kazuo Koike again, and Ryuichi Ikigami, so the artwork is fantastic as well. But it is a very over-the-top series, and you kind of have to take it with a grain of salt, as there's many plot conveniences and Deus Ex Machina that happens frequently in it, and a lot of unnecessary nudity. I mean, it is a Gekka, yeah, I expect violence and nudity and things like that, but I mean, it's very excessive to the point where it doesn't really serve any context. But nonetheless, it is still a fantastic series. I mean, hopefully I won't open up on a nude scene. That's okay. Next to that we have Yotsuba, volume 1 to 9. I can't decide between whether I like this or Azumanga Daioh more, but this is amazing. A fantastic series, and funnily enough, a seinen, despite its subject matter. But I guess again, it kind of appeals to the paternal instinct. It is really charming. A beautiful manga. Next to that we have the My Neighbor Totoro novel. I started reading this. I didn't really get there very far. I think I'm about 2-3 chapters in, but it was pretty good. I do enjoy it, and I will finish reading it at some point. Next shelf down, I have Vagabond, volume 1 to 11. I need to pick up volume 12. I really liked volume 11 as it kind of shifts into the future. Without going into spoiler territory, it kind of just shifts into the future, and we see older versions of familiar characters. And I really liked that. Or should I say, we see one version of an older character. We don't really see many characters, but I don't know, it just felt like it was kind of drawing to a conclusion, and it's kind of going into like a final arc. That's just kind of how it feels, and I like that because I don't want it to drag on. 11 volumes, I mean, that's 33 volumes right there, as these are 3-in-1s. It's a very long series, and it doesn't need to be any longer than it already is, I feel. I think maybe, I don't know, maybe up to volume 13, or 14, it maybe could conclude. And I think it could do it very well. Given the fact that we already know how it ends, if you know your history, as this is based on true story. But yeah, I hope it wraps up soon. Next to that we have Death Note. Everybody in the grandma knows what Death Note is. I don't really need to say anymore. Next to that we have Azumanga Daioh. Again, I was just literally saying with Yotsuba, I don't know whether or not I like this or Yotsuba more. But Koyohiko Hazuma, his flair for comedy is just immense. Next to that we have Oku, The Inner Chambers, Volume 1. This is basically an alternate history set in Edo period Japan, where 1 in 4, there's 1 man for every 4 women, because there's a disease that's basically what wiped out most of the men. And women have taken over all the kind of male roles like shogunate and, businessmen. Basically it's a matriarchal society, and men are basically treated like concubines and things like that. It's pretty good. I mean, even though it has its kind of like yaoi elements, it is really good. Very well crafted. And then I have a Vampire Knight sample that I may or may not ever read. I don't know. So that's that shelf. Next shelf down, I have 20th Century Boys.
complete series and the 2-volume epilogue 21st Century Boys. I don't really need to say much about this series other than the fact that it's absolutely just perfect. Next to that we have What Did You Eat Yesterday by same author as Oku, Fumi Yoshinaga. This is basically about two men in a relationship living together. One's a lawyer, one's a hairstylist, and the lawyer likes cooking, and the hairstylist likes eating the food. And it's basically like a cooking manga with like really in-depth recipes and things like that. It's actually pretty funny. The comedy is pretty good. Next we have Garden. Probably an anomaly in my manga collection. It's just really weird. We have The Summit of the Gods, another Jiro Taniguchi work that I've neglected to read. A random volume of Neon Genesis Evangelion, one of the oldest manga I've read. I own. I bought this years ago. We have volume 1 of Kazan. Pretty old manga. I mean, look, it's published by Comics One. I mean, they're not publishing the UK anymore, I believe. We have a random Clamp, Makona's Okimono Kimono. It's pretty much a mouthful to say. It's basically like, it's not even a manga. It's got a manga in it, but most of it's just like photos of kimonos. Not very interesting. I also have a light novel down here, or at least I think you can consider it a light novel. So volume 1 of 12 Kingdoms. I don't really know what you can consider a light novel. I don't really know the difference. I don't read light novels. And then we just have like a bunch of random kind of, there's an art book there, you can see for yourself. So yeah, that's that shelf, and that bookshelf as a whole. Cool. Now this shelf is where it all gets a little bit messy. As you can see, I've got like written out of space here, but basically here's my entire collection of Berserk. Volumes 1 to 30 something, 37 is it? I think 37. Where's my volume 37? There's volume 37 there, hiding. And then we have Bakuman, miscellaneous volumes. Up here we have Dragon Ball Z, Bleach, more Bakuman. There's a little free comic book, free Kodansha sample here that's got Attack on Titan, Attack on Titan Before the Fall, Norigami, Your Lie in April, and I don't know actually. I don't know if these are samples in it, but it's a sample manga anyway. It's got some random stuff in it. Ooh, that's that new, yeah, Inuyashiki, Inuyashiki, yeah, that new manga that's just come out. It's just a sample, basically, free sample. In behind there's Bleach volumes, more Bleach volumes. I have volumes 1 to 37 of Bleach. As I said last time in my last video, when I say last video, I mean the last collection video. I'm not continuing with Bleach. Random volumes of Twin Spicker 1, 2, 7, 10, and 12. £1. I was searching for them good deals. Naruto. In behind these is basically Naruto Part 2. You're just gonna have to take my word for it, but I've got up to volume 64. So I haven't bought any more Naruto either. I'll finish it as and when I need to. I'm not in a rush. Screw it, put them down there. So yeah, in behind there, I basically just see Naruto. And on the shelf, random Bleach volumes hidden way in there, and then my entire One Piece collection. I'm behind on One Piece. I'm only up to volume. Well, I say only. It's a massive amount of money. But yeah, I'm up to volume 75. So that has been my manga collection. It's kind of exhausting to make these, I swear, especially when year by year my collection's getting bigger and bigger. But yes, thank you so much for watching. If you stuck to the end of this video, and I'm massively appreciative. There's basically the rest of my collection. I'll kind of point it over here. So yeah, thank you. Again, if you're interested in buying any of these manga, be sure to click on my book depository affiliate link, so you can buy it there, and I get commission off of your sales, which is cool for you and me. Thank you very much for watching, and yeah, stay tuned for more content.